So here is the finished valance, and as I said, it is a double reverse pleat. It can be used as it is, and you can also hang it over your existing curtain. It's a detachable valance, so you know you're gonna have to use a separate rod with it. But I hope you'll be inspired, and I hope you will try this little valance. If you're using it for your kitchen windows and your kitchen probably has a double window, you can make two. If you're using it for the bathroom, one. And if you have big windows, you just make more than one or extend the size, you know. And hope you'll be inspired. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hello, good morning. This is Sharon from Everything Beautiful. Today we will be making a double-sided reverse pleat. Now I did a reverse front pleat, and it is pretty similar, except that this is a full one, so now it is called a double-sided reverse pleat. So the first step is to measure your window and do your calculation. If you're working with 36 inches, okay, because these valances, they do not carry any gathering in them. They just lie flat. You put them on the rod, and that is it. So you have to take your measurement from one end to the other, with a little allowance aside, because you know you always extend the curtain beyond the window so that it will look a little bit much better. Okay, so after you've done your calculation, you decide, okay, you decide on the fabric, and you decide how many pleats you're going to use in that valance. So in this valance, I'll be using 2 inches pleat. You can use 1.5. 1 is too small. Do not create such an effect. You can use 2 inches, you can use 3 inches. So you can make the pleats big, deciding on what you prefer. So I'll be using 2 inches in this. If you're using 1.5, one pleat requires, when you're using 1.5 inch pleats, that requires 4.5 inches of space, okay, for pleating, because one pleat has 3 layers. If you're using 2 inches pleat, it requires 6 inches of space. And if you're using 3 inches, it requires 9 inches of space, and so it goes on. So if you're using 6 pleats, okay, you know that 6 pleats by 6 inches is 36 inches, okay, 36 with inches. So 36 inches will give you 6 inches pleat, and you know that 36 inches is 1 yard. And with this valance, that 36 inches would be on one side, and then you would have to do another 36 inches for the other side with a little allowance to stitch in. Okay, so I hope you understand how to do your pleats. I've already done a video on that, so let me show you how to cut this. So I have a piece of paper here, and I'm just going to show you what you're going to do. You'll be measuring off the side, and a lot of times it's about 9 inches. So a small piece of paper, so I'll just take off less than that. Okay, and you just cut along like this, just trying to even it here. And so this is what a double-sided reverse pleat looks like. Okay, so this is the center, and when you're pleating it, that's the one side, this the another side. And why it's called a double-sided reverse is because you bring over this side on this side. Okay, so that is it. So instead of just doing this to create another pleat, you would take this and put here. So now I'm going to go to the fabric, and I'm going to do another demonstration for you. So this one, it has double fabric, as you can see. I like colors. You don't have to make all these bright colors, but I prefer working with them. So this is what it looks like. So you cut your fabric, 2 pieces here, and you stitch it right along. Okay, so you stitch it from the end here straight back to the other end, and when you finish stitching, what you do, you give it little slits here to free it up. And if you have too much fabric down here inside, you can also trim it. Okay, because sometimes depending on the fabric it can be a little bit bulky. After you do that, you turn it to the right side and you iron it. Okay, you also put a little snitch at the corner there to take off the excess that would cause it to be a little bit bulky, and the point there at the end. So you turn it over, hello. So I have changed my mind about using 2-inch pleats. It's going to take me more time, so I just decided that I would mark off 6 inches. So here it is. That is 6 inches, so that's what I'll be using. And if you notice, this is the center. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, sorry about the mess here, this one, and put it over here. Okay, so that is it. This is what it's looking like, and let's check to see if it is 3 inches, and there it is. It's 3 inches. And I'm going to take, another thing is that you want to ensure that every time you make up, you're going to make a pleat, you put that pleat right on the back of the first one. So right here would be the first pleat, and you take this one and you put it right on the back there of the first one. Sometimes you might have to overlap it a little bit if it's running away from you, or if the measurement is a little bit too wide. But apart from that, so that means you'll be using the easing method. But if so be, if not, you just put them right at the back. Even when you're doing the swags, you put them right at the back of the pleat. Okay, so we have 1, 2 here, and here is another 6 inches. Okay, and it has 3 layers: 1, the top layer, the middle layer, and this layer. So that's why I say 3 2s is 6. So, and that's the other one. Okay, and we have 3 inches there again. Yeah, right there. So the next step would be to bring over this pleat, and I've made it very big, as you can see. You know, I want it to be looking nice. So here it is. So that is why it's called a reverse pleat. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to add the rod pocket. Now this is the width of the rod pocket. I'm not using a header because, as I said, this is just going to be lined flat on the rod. There will be no ruffles or anything like that. I've showed you already how to do a rod pocket. So I'm going to do the other side and add my rod pocket, and when I get back, you will see the finished look.